Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Meds. Here at Meds, we like to focus on all things family medicine and OBGYN related. Speaking of family medicine, today we have one of our family nurse practitioners, Marissa Guerrero, with us to discuss all things coronavirus as we continue in the coronavirus pandemic. But today we like to change it up a little bit and discuss things related to mental health. We're concluding 3 weeks on shelter in place here in the state of Illinois, and it has people going a little stir crazy. We were hoping actually to do this video outside to get some fresh air, but it's a little windy and crisp outside. And the next best thing that's the most crisp is Marissa's freshly ironed lab jacket.
That's right.
So, does coronavirus have you feeling like this? But really you want to feel like this nice plant behind us? Let's discuss today some things related to mental health that can promote positive mental health habits or self-care in the time of self-isolation or shelter in place. So you might be wondering why we're discussing mental health this week. A lot has been going on with coronavirus and the pandemic in the news, and a lot of people are focusing more on the physical health aspects regarding coronavirus, but not a lot of people are talking about mental health as it relates to coronavirus. So Marissa, can you enlighten us as to why mental health is equally as important as physical health?
Sure. Jackie makes good points. Your mental health is equally as important as physical health. We're discovering more often that we're having, patients are feeling a little bit more anxious, a little more depressed, and feeling isolated, having to stay home, can't go out and do their daily activities.
So at Family First Medical Group and Women's Healthcare of Illinois, we like to focus on the whole patient, not just if they have a cough or chest tightness or a fever, because at the end of the day, if they don't have coronavirus, but they're feeling anxious or depressed or lonely, those things are important to touch on too.
For instance, COVID patients, they're isolating themselves, having to stay in a room away from their family.
Minimum of 14 days.
Yes. Healthcare workers who are taking care of coronavirus patients who have to stay away from their families, and their only break to get out is to go to work, take care of the patients.
You might love your work, family, and friends, but you want to come home and be able to get some extra TLC from the people around you, and you're not really able to do that at this time. So it can be really important to stay connected to people that you love and normally talk to, not only by talking to them on the phone or setting up FaceTime visits.
Or using Zoom.
Zoom is another great way to stay connected with people. You can set up family Zooms or friend Zooms where people all get together and play a game, chat it up, celebrate holidays that are coming up together via Zoom. So it doesn't seem like isolation or shelter in place is ending anytime soon. So Marissa, what can people do to feel a little bit better about being isolated at home?
So I think the biggest thing is to definitely take some time for yourself, focusing on self-care. If you feel like you're cooped up in the house all day, it's good to open some windows, go outside for
fresh air.
Yeah, some fresh air, some sunlight, need that vitamin D with your family, go by yourself, take your dog on a walk, go for a jog.
All while maintaining social distancing,
yes,
of course.
Of course. Also, making sure you're eating a healthy, balanced diet, getting plenty of rest, just having like good sleep hygiene where they might drink a glass of warm milk before they go to bed or a cup of tea, and really just kind of limit your screen time.
But I love catching up on all my shows while I'm home all day. And so isn't that great for self-care too?
Yeah, well, that's good for self-care, but in terms of watching the news and being on social media, sometimes you just need to take a break and really just focus on yourself, whether it's, getting some exercise and some physical activity in with plenty of workout apps, going for a jog around the block, really just eating a healthy, balanced meal, getting proper sleep and taking care of yourself.
Marissa's right. Even though it's really great to keep up with what's going on the news, we also don't want to just watch the news all day, every day, and feel anxious and depressed about what's going on the outside. So it's good to maybe catch the news for a half hour to an hour a day, but maybe not obsess over it.
Right.
And a lot of patients are asking us what they can do about their anxiety. Of course, people are always looking for a quick fix, and while they're on a video visit with us, they're inquiring a lot about taking some medication for anxiety. But there are a lot of other ways to deal with anxiety besides medication.
Right. Right now we're in an unpredictable time, and these feelings are very real, and it's okay to feel this way. Maybe temporary, but it's most importantly, you should be talking to somebody about these feelings, whether it's your family or your primary care doctors, friends, just acknowledging that you have these feelings. And when you realize that you have the feelings of depression and anxiety, some ways to kind of cope with these feelings can be through simple measures like breathing exercises and yoga, meditation apps, maybe even journaling.
There are a lot of great apps or on-demand shows that are related to yoga or meditation. You can start a Zoom with friends and do yoga. Lots of workout locations are promoting and offering free online videos of classes, right? So you can do a class by video instead of physically going to the gym. Even though it's not the same thing, it's good to know that we're kind of all in this together. A lot of people are feeling anxious and isolated, like they can't get out, but no one can really get out and not feel that way. Right. So at least you can kind of touch base with your friends and say, how are you feeling? How are you feeling today, Marissa?
I'm feeling good. A little anxious.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to be anxious because it's unpredictable and you don't really know what's going to happen or when the shelter in place is going to end, and if you're ever going to stop teaching your children at home until the fall semester starts again, which is a lot to handle. A lot of patients are not only working from home, but now also their children's entertainment, their caregiver, their teacher, and they can't go out and meet with friends and decompress at the end of the day.
I think also another part that's important is checking in on, people who live alone. So, like elderly neighbors or, grandparents.
Right. It's great to be at home with someone, even though you might feel like you want to strangle your husband at times. At least you have someone at home. When you don't have anybody at home, it can feel really lonely. So it's definitely good to check in with those people. In times of trouble, while people are feeling anxious and depressed, we know that they often turn to substance abuse.
Right. When patients aren't feeling at their best, especially now in these times of uncertainty, some patients may be prone to drinking more alcohol, participating in more substance abuse, smoking more cigarettes.
Old habits die hard.
Right.
Definitely acknowledging that you're doing those things is step one. Don't hesitate to reach out to us here at Family First Medical Group if you are concerned about your habits. But of course, again, replacing those bad habits with good habits. If you're feeling like you want to drink more, maybe take that time to go for a walk with your family or spend more time as a family doing something else like puzzles or games, painting. We can't forget about the kids. So you might be feeling like your kids are really annoying right now, just not acting normal. And you're with them 24/7 and you're annoyed with them and they're annoyed with you, but that might be their coping mechanism.
Right.
A lot of us think that, kids don't really need to know what's going on or they're fine and they're having the best 3-week spring break of their lives. But maybe that's not really true. What do you see in some of our kid patients?
Right. I think the kids are definitely going through a big transition right now in terms of being out of school and having to be at home, really just being at home stuck with their parents and their siblings.
No routine.
No routine, no friends around. Their whole routine is disrupted. Having to do online learning, the e-learning is hard enough, let alone sleeping. Disruptive sleep patterns are pretty common too. A lot of patients are saying they're not able to sleep well.
And we try to limit screen time, but during this time, it's really hard to limit screen time when
you're stuck inside.
Right, and the kids are e-learning on their screen all day and then maybe want to watch some TV to decompress at the end of the day. So again, don't forget about that physical health, physical activity in regards to mental health. Right. And, staying in a routine or helping your kids kind of wind down at the end of the day, decreasing that screen time so that they can sleep better.
Right.
And don't be afraid to talk to your kids about what's going on. They want to know what's going on too in the world, and they're worried just like you.
right?
But what if he's not back?
He'll be back.
Even if we have to zoom him in.
So thanks, Marissa. This has been great. And don't worry for all of you at home who are sad and missing our Dr. Beckman. He'll be back next week for our next installment, or episode, should I say, of Meds, where we will be discussing the next most important topic that we've been seeing a lot in the news, a lot of talk about antibody testing. Don't worry, he doesn't have the COVID.
You guys were back there?
Really?
Yeah.
Were you nervous, Marissa?
We can't hear you anyway.
She was very nervous.
I totally was.